From a dumpy little office in West Covina, California, it's The Foo Bar Show with Josie and The Foo. Hey, what is up, everybody? I am Josie.
I'm The Foo.
And we got Dayvid on the mix. Say hi, Dayvid. Dude, we couldn't even hear you there.
Oh, hey, Dayvid.
Thanks, man. I just want to start out by saying thanks for listening in to the Foo Bar Show. You can always catch us on Foo Bar. That's FOO Bar Show at gmail.com. FOO Bar Show as our handle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out. Send us anything you want. We'll respond. We'll talk shit together. It'll be a good time. On tap today, we got science, sports, little showbiz update, and the joint report with the Foo. But I wanted to start off by talking about a couple things, Foo.
Yes.
I saw this little article, and Dayvid, you can get in on this. 5 types of people you don't want in your band, and I got it from this website called Sonic Bids.
I really hope they're all named Dayvid.
Right. All right, number 1. Person in 14 other bands, because we've all met that guy that's in like a shitload of bands and hardly has time for any of them.
And they make it sound like they're going to be there. They're like, well, I'm in like
dude.
5 bands, but I'm totally going to do this.
I mean,
and
you know, the guys that would say, yeah, I'm in like a couple other bands, but I'm down to go jam with you guys. And the guy that actually shows up, that's the guy you can respect.
That's cool.
But the guy that just says, you know, I'm in like 10 other bands. No. And there's this one. I've never heard of this term before, Dayvid. What about the shirker?
What the hell is that?
Yeah. So apparently it's the guy that doesn't help with putting away the equipment or helping with setup. Like,
so this guy just goes and plays and just like, all right, guys.
And he just kicks it while everybody else is like putting their shit in the van.
Yeah. I started a band with a shirker.
Really?
I started a band with a shirker, and he was the first to go. That was crazy. And we started the band together.
How long did he stick around for?
About a year.
Yeah.
And but the band that I ended up playing in was we played around for like about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was wild.
Was he like pretty self-important and did he think it was above him, or what the hell?
He was very talented.
And
I think he knew how talented he was, and it was it kind of conflicted with his necessity to do work. He's basically like, I learned these super hard solos, so I don't feel like I should actually carry anything.
Jeez, and you were just like,
it's all good. I mean, I didn't give a crap anyways because I'm used to carrying everything and like kind of moving all this shit, and I kind of thrive in that. So I was like, it's cool. Right. But after a while, it got old. And then we had to kind of talk about it. It started
stop that nonsense.
It started to come through in his like showing up to rehearsal thing, and it wasn't fun.
Here's one that I guess makes sense. The aesthetic mismatch.
What does that mean?
The aesthetic mismatch is when one band member just totally sticks out like a sore thumb from everybody else in the band.
Yeah.
Have you dealt with that as well?
Just when they're like way older,
Oh, okay. But I mean, it's worked.
Great.
It's worked in other, like the Offspring. They have Noodles.
Yeah,
you know, that's the only example I have. But
no, yeah, but I mean, like, you can make it work, obviously, but sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah,
sometimes.
That's true. That's true.
It's not like them Crooked Vultures with like John Paul Jones on the bass.
But that's fucking John Paul Jones, dude.
It's not exactly. It's not like John Paul Jones.
Oh yeah, okay, you got it. The excessively heavy partier, for obvious reasons. I mean, the guy's probably gonna show up all fucked up and
isn't that the funnest guy though?
They can be the shirker very quickly.
Oh
yeah, that ends up being the same person a lot of the time.
Yeah, they'll be the guy who passes out
at the bar,
and they can't carry anything.
So that one was a trick question. Oh no, you're just reading off the top.
I'm just reading this.
Okay.
List right
I thought you were asking questions. This is for
and the last one that they have on here is the competitive noodler. So the way that they describe this is so let's see, what do they write here? A band full of people competing to be heard and who can't be happy unless they're constantly playing or playing very busily. Is that a word, busily? As a recipe for a terrible music experience. So the guy that's always trying to one up at like in a performance, like they didn't rehearse a certain riff in a certain way in practice, but like when they're in front of people, they'll try to surprise them with something cool like that.
Oversaturate
Yeah,
the music with their
Mhm.
playing instead of busily.
Yes.
Instead of following the script, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just freaking playing what everybody.
I guess that would
rehearsed.
be the entire band if that's the problem with everybody, and they're all like trying to outdo each other. That's like an entire group of people.
What would like a jam band?
Noodlers, a bunch of noodlers. If everybody's a noodler, because that's what it said, right? The noodler is when
The noodler,
everybody's outdoing
yeah.
each other.
And if I had to put a number 6 in there, which might go hand in hand with a lot of the other people that we just talked about, is the guy with the girlfriend that looks like somebody smeared shit right under her nose, and that's always just taking him away. Like when it's time to network and talk to people that are there. You know what I'm talking about?
That can be
Foo?
rough. That can definitely be rough.
What?
He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No,
I was checking out this cool container, in my room.
for the
But I think that's for the drum report, though.
right. That's for the joint report. Thanks, Foo. So what do you think? Like, I guess the Yoko is what some people would call her.
What did you say again? They're called. This one's called.
The Yoko, I guess, is what I would call her. Or the guy.
It's called like the Noodler or something.
Way to pay attention, man.
I was doing the things.
So the next thing that I wanted to just talk about, because this came into effect yesterday. And by the way, we're recording on a Thursday, and this gets released on a Monday. So when you hear us on Monday, you know that shit happened probably throughout the weekend that we haven't gotten to yet. So the California State Senate voted on Wednesday to approve a bill that would reinstate the net neutrality regulations repealed by the Federal Communications Commission back in December, which means, do you know anything about that, David?
Nope.
Foo?
I'm learning now.
I'm not too much about it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well,
Well,
elaborate, please.
That was quite the tease.
so essentially what that was is that when they took that regulation away, it gave the like companies like Comcast or whatever internet provider was out there the ability to slow down your internet connection if you weren't paying a certain amount of money or if you weren't on a tier,
Okay.
as opposed to just giving everybody the same internet or the same openness to the internet, accessibility and all that good stuff to it. After the FCC moved to eliminate net neutrality rules, states began implementing their own measures in hopes that they can kind of reinstate what it was already going down. So in January, over 20 attorney generals sued the commission before the order was even published. So some governors attempted to use executive orders while others worked with legislators, and California's bill to restore protections in the state is one of the toughest responses to the FCC's rollback. So it's nice to know that the state's doing something, to help improve the openness of the internet and keep it
Let's keep it, yeah.
and keep it open.
Let's just keep it that way.
Well, keep it competitive, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, keep it an open playing field where everybody can.
We never would have got to like homes being able to run 150 megabytes per second without that competition.
Yeah.
Everyone was super satisfied with the 30 megabytes per second. So
Imagine if we all still had like 56K going
Jesus
down.
Christ,
Remember
dude.
Net Zero?
I was just going to say that.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
Net Zero was free.
Yeah.
Slow as shit. But you could do
If
fun stuff on
if
that.
you can deal with the ads, yeah. You didn't get the ads when you had the
it was
the Net
just
Zero?
extremely slow. I didn't get ad problems. No, I was able to log into the internet fairly. Well, I didn't use it for that long.
Did you
either.
use Net Zero, Foo?
No, I did not.
Do you remember it?
Not hardly.
Sure, I mean it.
I do not though.
I do. It was free. It would like you would come in and you were like you had downloaded. I
Was
think
it-
at
was it
first
like
it would
in
come
those
with just
discs?
download. It wasn't. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't like AOL. It was just like free internet that you downloaded to your computer and you can just access it through your computer.
Mhm.
You didn't need a disk or anything to use it.
I remember them sending that through the mail, like
They
the
did send it.
AOLs.
They
Just so you can install it onto your
I
computer.
believe so. Yeah, I believe you did get it. Like you would get a disc and install it, and it was
Which reminds me,
slow.
do you remember getting those little fucking cereal boxes in the mail back in the day?
cereal boxes.
Yeah, Foo, do you remember?
Oh, in the cereal boxes.
What do you mean?
No. In the mail, they would send you those little cereal boxes. Like sample size?
Oh, I didn't.
I never remember that ever.
Okay.
Am I the only one in this room?
I never got those until I went to a friend's house maybe like a year or two ago. And I saw in his mail was a cereal box. And I was like, why do you guys have like a, I don't know, some tricks thing or something here? And they were like, oh, it comes in the mail. I was like, what? You get cereal? He was like, yeah. And I didn't know that was a thing either until recently. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude. It was amazing. I'm just like, oh, well, I know what I'm having tomorrow for breakfast.
Oh, man.
It was pretty dope. Anyhow, you guys down for a little science?
Yup.
All right, man. Here we go.
Science.
So, something that came out today, Thursday, June 7th, NASA had this huge announcement of a find that they had over in Mars. One of the rovers found something over there. So, headline, NASA finds ancient organic material, mysterious methane on Mars. So, NASA's...
Ancient organic material, methane on Mars.
Correct. Mysterious methane pockets.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
In Mars, essentially, when I was reading the... I'll go into it. NASA's Curiosity rover has found new evidence preserved in rocks on Mars that suggests that the planet could have supported ancient life, as well as new evidence that the Martian atmosphere that relates to the search for current life on the red planet. So, while not necessarily evidence of life itself, these findings are a good sign for future missions exploring the planet's surface and subsurface. So, the new findings are tough organic molecules in the 3 billion-year-old sedimentary rocks near the surface, as well as seasonal variations in the levels of methane in the atmosphere. They appear and they appeared in today's edition of the Journal of Science. So these organic molecules include carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, nitrogen, and other elements that are commonly found as the building blocks of life. So with these findings, Mars is telling us to stay the course and keep searching for evidence of life, though it doesn't say that there was life there before. It says that the components are there for something that could have existed, can exist at one point in the future to try to get that going if we ever wanted to plant, any plants up there.
Yeah, that would be very interesting to see those pieces come together. I wonder but a distance from our sun can have an effect on that. Like maybe just because they've had water and all that, distance just doesn't allow them to make
it is further from the sun, but if I could be wrong, and I have no way to look this up right now unless you'd like to, but isn't Mars still like in the Goldilocks zone?
I don't.
Or is it just outside of it?
I believe it's not in something, but they're like, I think that's why it's so exciting to see these like whole kind of things come together, because it's like if that possibility were to actually happen at some point, we could have some really cool neighbors, man.
Yeah. Shit, I'm going to Mars. Do a podcast from there.
Oh man, the next Foo Bar show. That'll be
there
pretty dope to do up there.
And the Foo goes outside and then he just starts looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dude, becoming invisible. Dude, what
that?
if we were to go up there and we find out that all our instruments didn't allow us to see the actual life that was on Mars, and we were able to get there and they're actually there, and we become an invasive species? We just fuck their shit up.
Wow.
That'd be messed up.
Wow,
heavy,
dude.
man.
I hope no aliens are listening to our podcast.
But it's like we just show up and...
Christ.
Seriously. Got a little dark there.
Yeah, dude.
We set foot and just releasing microbes, and they just instantly die. We don't try to kill them. I'm not saying we should go out kill all Martians. We love all Martians. Equal rights for everyone. Come on, guys. But
equal.
We get there and fucking we just kill them with their skin dust.
Jesus, dude.
Jesus,
skin dust. I think I saw him at Coachella one year. So I had another.
Speaking of invasive species.
What, man?
Bees are an invasive species, and also what I'm telling you right now with invasive species. This was an invasive.
Picking my microphone.
This is an invasive.
For the love of crap!
You're invasing on my
you're
invasiveness
an
to
invasive on my fucking microphone.
No, peace though, real quick,
because
invasive is the subject that I have right now. They're not native to the United States.
I saw something like that earlier that said they were either manufactured or grown in the lab or something, right?
They
something
are
like that?
actually native from Europe. That's where they come from. They're honeybees. We have bees here in the United States, but the native bees, honeybees, which come from Europe, were actually brought over from companies trying to make money off honey. We protect them because we think that they are the only pollinators, and I'm making air quotes, and they're only pollinators in the United States, but they're not. We have many other bugs that pollinate, and they're actually driving out some species.
I've
because
never
of their
heard
presence.
anybody hate bees more.
No, I
than
love
you
bees.
do right now.
Actually,
you suck, dude.
contrary, I love bees.